Afternoon, welcome to the sunny side. This is your number one talk news and sports radio station here in Port Harcourt. I'm Gabriella, welcoming you to the show. On this hour, we're going to be taking a look at, a bad leadership, poor leadership, and bad governance. Many a time we'll hear people use, "Oh, that's a bad leader," or this our Gano trial, this our local government chairman is a bad leader, or this our president is a bad leader, or this our governor. We use those words every now and then, but what does it really mean to be a bad leader in governance? We'll talk about this shortly on this ad. 1 o'clock, the news update. Right after, we'll have some information at 1:30, all on Power Solution. Will be coming your way. Before that, at 1 o'clock, we'll be having conversations with the SDN, I believe. At 2 p.m., Mind, Body and Soul, right after the news update on that hour. You're welcome once again to the show.
Different ideologies,
different perspectives.
Share your views on the sunny side.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Welcome back to the conversation. Remember, you can join in when the phone lines will be open. If you do not have the numbers yet, the numbers to call are 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. You can also call 0817 923 0007 or 0817 923 0009. So we're going to be talking bad leadership and bad governance. What does that really mean when we use such? We already know law and order in any democratic system or in any governing space is marked by certain things. So when you say there is law and order in a certain space of people, a group of people, within a community, within a state, or whatever geographic location, you would obviously pinpoint certain attributes to that. Perhaps people know not to throw trash on the roadsides. People know that when you want to park, you park at designated areas along the roads or in a car park. People know not to, cross the roads carelessly. People know to obey traffic rules. There is law and order. People know not to break into other people's houses or steal their property. They know not to bring physical bodily harm to other people. There is law and order. When things are going on in a systemic process, these people are an organized group of people because there is law and order. But when you have issues such as insecurity, violence, coercion, and the likes, you could say, well, these people aren't governed by a set law. These people do not abide by their laws. These people do not enjoy law and order within their locality. And the reason why people will not enjoy that is because of poor governance, either that or bad leadership. So what are some of the things that we could, look to and say these are signs of bad leadership? It could be so many: violence, insecurity, lack of education, lack of employment, poverty, bad water, called violence already. I mean, you just name all the negative vices that you could actually think of. These are the things that you could say, well, because all these things are going on, it means we do not have good governance. Think also about the exchange rate, for instance. Think about the cost of food in the market. Think about the cost of transportation. Think about the cost of just going about your daily business. Think about the low pay. Think about the fact that people do not receive salaries. These are some of the things you could say, oh, well, these are signs of, hard times. And we have hard times because we do not have good leaders. Or maybe not. Maybe it could be something else to you. But I'd like to open the phone lines. I'd like that we talk about bad governance. How do you actually identify a bad leader? What makes a bad leader? What is that thing you could look at and say, this person is a bad leader? I'll give you a quick example. So, someone comes into office as local government chairman or chairwoman, and this person constructs good roads across that local government area and ensures there is borehole water, but the person goes ahead to build his or herself a very huge mansion and has a fleet of luxury cars and has over 100 domestic staff and is living the luxurious life, but the people praise and applaud the local government chairman because the person provided good roads and we have drinking water. Would you describe such a leader as a good one? Would you say, this our local government chairman is a good leader? Let's assume it's another scenario, maybe the governor of your state or the commissioner in some area. And this person provides a health center with an amazing infrastructure. You can walk into the health center, have an eye surgery done. You can go in and have a CS operation to deliver your baby. It's a beautiful edifice of a health center at a discounted rate. But this commissioner or this leader in whatever office steals public funds. They enrich their pockets. Would you describe such a leader as a bad one or good one? What makes a bad leader, especially in government? That's the question on this hour. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007, or 0817-923-0009. First caller is Alex from Eche. Good afternoon, Alex. All right, dual to call back. You can also join the conversation via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. On Facebook, we're streaming live at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Dennis is calling from the airport. Good afternoon, Dennis.
Hello, Gabby.
Good afternoon, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Such manipulate nowadays. You see somebody can talk about opponents and all that. The truth is that in the olden days, people feared God. If you look at the Old Testament, from which Jesus copied a lot of what he taught us, do you understand? The people were made to live alongside God, and the spirits were governing them as at that time. If you did wrong, something will happen to you. So for the fear of those things that will happen to you, you will do the right thing. But somehow the capitalists manipulated the system and brought a pseudo-good religion. If you remember, even in the New Testament, it talks about at the end time, there will be a form of religion and godliness without power in it.
So, Dennis, are you saying that we cannot have good governance or good leadership without the influence of religion?
Pardon me?
Are you saying we cannot have good leadership without the influence of religion?
Honestly, the Bible clearly tells us that man cannot rule his own steps. And I think I want to agree with it. Because if you go to the West that are doing better today, you will find that they are also deviating since nobody is checking some of the excesses.
Okay.
But if you check at the olden days, where the spirit will punish you instantly.
Wow.
If you committed things like Ananias and Sapphira, instantly you were punished. The ones alive will now take correction. So as it is today, we are entering into a situation where corruption will permeate into the new world, into the West, because nobody is checking them.
All right, Dennis.
That is just the truth. So if we go back to the Old Testament, I think it will do us a lot of good. Here in Nigeria, what we have is not manipulation. People come, paint houses, build. Building houses is easy. Call somebody, come and call people, and then they start building and all that. But industries are also building houses.
All right, Dennis, let's move on to other callers. Good afternoon, Great Mind. You're welcome.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, your question, or the answer to your question is, to my mind, is relative and subjective to a people, time, and place. I give you an instance. When GSM was first introduced in Nigeria, the kind of phones we used as a then, they were like top class. But today, they are like trash. Okay? So over time, sophistication changes. People have traveled around the world. They have seen different sophisticated, the tallest buildings in Dubai, the finest supermarket in Dubai, gone around the world. They now know that today, in one day, you can construct roads. These technologies are possible. You can go through rivers. So every leader per time has to provide service or will be judged and measured by the sophistication of the people. Now, let me lay this foundation. It is critical for us, everyone, to understand that, like Plato said, that what is the essence of government or governance or political leadership? It is the provision or the facilitation of the good life. Simple. Summary. QED. Over time to us in Nigeria, our leaders have successfully proven that they don't understand this. And the reason is this. Not that they don't know, they have some iota of knowledge, but it is very, I tell you, it is very tasking. Even for the leaders that are going to come in 2023, it is even more tasking. For instance, we're having power challenge. Up to today, I'm over 50 years old. We cannot say we have affordable, abundant, constant supply of power. When some other countries like about 5 million, less than 5 million, are having it. So for me, and for anyone, you judge a leader how good or bad he is by his works, by what he is able to do. Because like the Bible says, by your words that be judged, by your actions that be judged. How the leader has been able to provide quality, a good life in terms of quality and quantity. So far, our leaders have not; they are nowhere near it, because they're afraid of taking up the task. I tell you, I sit down with some of the politicians. If you give when they get to the office, what they see overwhelms them. They don't have solutions. They have no clue. Why? Because they are not prepared for leadership. They are prepared for politics. 2023 is coming. They are spending their money. You will see them very active. You can look at the past ones. During campaign, even the ones that are sick, they will come out, make all the noise. But when it comes to sitting down, cracking your head, thinking deep, being a deep thinker, to bring out solutions to the people, they don't have it. But they want to be there. So this is how we should be judging going forward. Judge the leader by what he can do, not what he says. I will do.
All right.
I will do.
All right, Great Mind. Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon. You're welcome, Mr. Zion.
Yeah. When you talk about leadership, there are purpose and factors that builds it. When the leader cannot raise up other leaders like him, he's a failure. Woefully. And that is the problem we have here. Do you know that presently now we are struggling who will succeed President Muhammadu Buhari? But if it has been so structured that everybody is a leader, by now we know the next person. We don't need to even struggle ourselves. We know the next person. In resemblance, in activities, in cultures and tradition, in the momentum of dynamism, is behaving that, yes, it will start from this foundation. It also narrows down to we. What
Are you there?
culture that have been passed on to us as a people? Look at the streets, everybody's gallivanting. Are they the ones thinking to be a leader? Look at the roads, the way we drive on the streets. Is that a leadership? Look at the tenant and landlord relationship. Do you see any leadership there? Relationship there? No. These are factors. If you cannot coerce the people to believe in the dynamics of the national pledge and the anthem, oh my goodness me, this is my behavior, I take it again. If you cannot compel the people, coerce them to believe in the pledge and the national anthem, that leadership has failed. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. How much is our budget? What have they spent? Are they faithful with it? So you found that the badness reflects in the life of the people on the street. Now, mo go cut that cable. After all, power no did that transformer. Mo go sell them. Is that leadership? Let us lie and destroy this family. Once this family is destroyed, the little bit that is coming out from the home, they will give it to us. Is that leadership? The truth is this, until we get to that point, to understand ourselves as a people, we now value each other. We see the next door neighbor as my responsibility. I feel love as a concept that builds a nation. We are far from good leadership, so all what you are going to see is bad leadership. Mr. Zion.
Mr. Zion, thank you so much for your thoughts. One thing I like that we put at the back of our minds is we cannot have a perfect government. I say that to mean we cannot have everything working. You know, even in America, for instance, I use it as an example because that's the easiest example that lots of people would give. Say, oh, look at, they have a system that is working. Even in that climb, not everything is working. You know, so they could have a great system, security and check, health check, employment check, poverty line, you know, way above that line. I mean, a lot of areas could actually be working, but it is really almost impossible to have every single area work. So would we then determine what a good leader or bad leader is because there is no perfection of some sort? Barry D. Gadam, good afternoon, you're welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Auntie Gabriella.
You're welcome, Barry.
Welcome to the sunny side.
Thank you.
My name is Barry D. Gadam. What is bad leadership to you? Your question. To me, bad leadership is a leadership that, a leadership that can't provide the dividends of democracy. That's a bad leadership to me. Thank you, Auntie Gabriella.
So that's it?
That's just it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all that. So like I was saying earlier, there are certain areas that may not work at the same time in sync all the time. So let's assume that we have a new leader, you know, who is coming to power, you know, into a new dispensation, and their passion or their area of priority is education. So they have the educational sector booming and it's flourishing. They have teachers being paid as it when due. They have good infrastructure put in place. They ensure that everything that is necessary for the smooth running of a primary, secondary, and even a tertiary institutions are in place. That is fantastic. Maybe also next on their priority list will be health. So they have all our health centers well equipped, paid healthcare providers, easy access 24/7, and that is fantastic. But just maybe they're failing in the area of road infrastructure. So maybe there are still bad roads. Maybe there are no access roads to certain areas in our rural communities. In such a scenario, would you tag that leader a bad leader? Or will you tag that leader a good leader? So when I'm saying this to put it in perspective, wherein we cannot have, you know, a government that is on 100% perfect. But does that mean that they are bad government? You know, I want us to understand that. On Facebook, the humble bishop says, good afternoon, Gabby. Bad leadership is one that cannot provide these common things: employment, security, quality education, not being able to pay workers, health care centers, etc. A good leadership is one that will carry everyone along, and looking at their basic needs and provide it for them. A good leadership is also a leader who knows how to manage the economy and focus on the interest of the people. Thank you very much for that, the humble bishop. Elomba is calling from Oji. Good afternoon.
Gabriella, I greet you. Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What I want to talk is, you are talking about leaders that are everything cannot. If you go like America, everything is not working. I want to use Nigeria as a case study in this regard. See, let me tell you something. If I were to ask you, Nigeria journalist, if I were to ask you now, tell me one sector in Nigeria that are working well. Is it like, is it main road that have been worked for over 60 years from the time of Tafawa Balewa? Is it the relationship between people and people? Is it even water borehole? Is it health sector? Which area that are working in Nigeria? Tell me one that are working very well. Make me say, oh, that did not work. You will not find it. So what they are doing here is like a group of people that just gang up together and then capture the indigenous people and take away their identity, be in pretense of governing them. That's what I saw. Because they are not doing, even when people protest, we say people want it. Then we use army and police and match them and then take away. You know, people are seeing it. Even though sometimes you people that are even journalists, they threaten you that if you pronounce, they will close you, NBC, this and that. This is not what the people want. When it is like that, people get tired and fed up. Even the election you are talking about. If you go to election now, look at it now. Where we have started in Anambra now. All this is because of elections, if you don't know. We don't know these things. People just keep quiet. Let's leave it like that.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Good afternoon, Clement. You're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Gabi.
Go ahead.
Let me quickly answer the previous caller's question. What is working? Corruption is working. Corruption is working. So at least we have that one. We can brag with that. It's not easy.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, qualities of bad leadership. For me, I think I would just summarize it to one. And that is self-centered. When a leader is self-centered, I think that is, for me, in my opinion, is that's a bad leader, because you were elected to serve everybody, but you choose to do projects that can serve you because you pass that road to your house. Let me just quickly use an example. Our local government chairman recently we are celebrating 100 days in office. One of the projects that I heard that they do is renovation of the local government office, that they are going to sit down and do their job with all the ACs and all that, blowing their small brains, and then whatever they want to do, they do. Now, what will affect the people? They will not do it within that 100 days. I pray when they are celebrating the next 200 days, they will put this into consideration. Like one, of course, we hear some people build markets, or the what is it called? Is it what do they call it again? When they want to start building projects. I hear some people have built that. But there are things, we are talking about depression and all that. And even we just celebrated the girl child. What has this local government done? Even Gary is expensive, and the girl child needs Gary. And if the girl child cries, the parents will have depression. And that will lead to chaos in the society. So the basic things that government should do, how many local government will go to today? And you will see table tennis in a village center where people can go and showcase their skills and help them to become better, perhaps selected for the next Olympic. None in River State, none by a local government chairman or even councillor. Let me just say, the local government is too big. What about the councillor? None. And these are things that will engage the youth. In your news, we hear that some youth surrender their weapon. Abi? That is because they were not engaged meaningfully in things that would have built their capacity, built whatever it is that will help their society to develop. Instead, they choose to carry arms. The tennis board that used to be there in the 90s, 80s, and nowhere. In fact, I think they used to fry granite and akara on our streets, and then give them guns to start shooting people. So they should start looking inward start building capacity from the grassroots. In fact, make up projects that can affect the grassroots directly. It can be sports. It can be learn computer skills. You have a lot of them here these days. You know, if they can achieve that, then I think we have at least achieve at least 90% of our problem will be solved. That's
right.
my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing. Chimbroma, good afternoon.
Yes. Gabby, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
You asked a question, so what can we describe as a bad governance? Am I right? Hello, Gabby?
Yes, Chimbroma, go ahead.
Governance. When governance, we have three arms of government. The executive lie. Then the legislature makes law. And then the judiciary protects them. During the interpretation of the law, it doesn't protect the masses. Why am I saying this? A leader will come up and lie to the people that he has built a world-class health center or a world-class health facility. When he is sick, he cannot go there. He prefers to go abroad. And then when the people go to that world-class, he has told people already on television that he has a report. Then when you take such a leader to the court, which is the judiciary will issue a perpetual injunction that such a leader should not be investigated. You know, we're just in a mess in Nigeria where the three arms of government are conniving to mess up the country. Are you listening to me? So we are really facing the mess in the country. But they should wait for God.
All right. All right, Austin, do also call back 0817-923-0002, 0003 0007 or 0009. On WhatsApp, it's 0809-030-6416. So if the inability to fill the polls of people is bad leadership, people want things that are in their desires. Good afternoon, Gabby. Such governors about me who didn't allow his people know they are supposed to know. See, leader or leadership that does not provide qualitative and quantitative education is bad leadership. Barry Ledom from Eagle Island. Gabby, leadership is able to cope with change. That is, more set goals. The leader empowers the people through inspirational motivation, individualized consideration, intellectual stimulation, and idealized influence. Dr. Gift Warlu, thank you for that. On WhatsApp still, this comment here says, in respect to this, I think I'll summarize the requirement of a single word. Trust has two major branches, competence and integrity, the responsibility of civil leadership. It's a lengthy one, but thank you, Caleb from Rumasi, for sending that in. Bad government, Felicia says, is a government that thinks for themselves and works on fish interest, not obeying the rule of law. As Mr. Zion said, that is the truth. Oni Sunday, Elelewa, from Elelewa says, a good government in Nigeria is a government that is able to remind us that they have stolen our money, that the previous administration has done nothing. A makeshift marker is an ultra-modern market. I see the sarcasm in your message on Sunday. A final comment we can take right here on WhatsApp. It says, bad government is one that falls short of God's standard of love, justice, wisdom, and power. Think a bit why God told one government. Okay, each government in the world will receive the same statement. All right, let's move on. We've got some comments on Facebook as well, and very little time to wrap this up. This here says, let's see. Kalio Enoch Precious on Facebook says, bad leadership is one that has no fear for God. Chinua Ernest says, good leadership is a capacity to influence others through inspiration. Says bad leadership is something. You want to know what he said, go on Facebook and check that comment out. Let's see. Sunday Oko says, in my own understanding, bad can be seen as not good, unfavorable, negative. Leadership here means the capacity of someone to lead. So bad leadership, in my layman understanding, can be seen as not having the ability or capacity to lead your followers. Interesting way to look at it, Sunday. Thank you for sharing. Chinua Ernest, again. Okay, so I sent that twice, I see. Franco Confidence says, bad leadership is a state of selfishness, abuse of public office, incompetence, disregard on your fellowship, and having nothing to show as stewardship. So we're out of time. Of all the numerous things that you all have mentioned already, in so many ways, we elect people that we eventually begin to complain about. So what then is the problem? Do we have people who gone for these offices and eventually change when they get into office? Or are we not making the right decisions? Questions I'll be leaving you with. In a few, we're going to be warming up to the next general elections come 2023. And you and I, will be the determining factor of if we're going to have good leadership or not. So I leave that for you to ponder on. 1 o'clock happens in 3 minutes. The news update, and right after, further conversations right here on the Sunny Side. Don't go away. I am Gabriella.